You're staring at your to-do list at 11 p.m., and somehow it's longer than when you started this morning. Your phone buzzes, your email inbox grows, a text from someone needs your attention. And somewhere between all of it, your actual goal, the thing that matters, gets buried under the noise. You've been working. God knows you've been working. But progress? It feels invisible. You're scattered across a dozen priorities, pulling yourself in directions that don't lead anywhere. The exhaustion is real. It's physical, that weight in your chest, the fog in your head. You're moving constantly, yet somehow stuck, overwhelmed, anxious, burning out. But here's what you don't realize yet. This isn't about working harder. It's about working towards something that actually matters. Your phone buzzes, your inbox swells, your to-do list multiplies like it's alive. And somewhere beneath it all, a quieter voice, your voice gets smaller. You're trying to focus on what matters, but your mind is a crowded room where everyone's talking at once. Should you chase this opportunity? Finish that project? Be present for the people you love? The noise doesn't whisper suggestions anymore. It screams demands. Your shoulders tense. Your jaw clenches. That familiar exhaustion settles in, not from doing too much, but from deciding too much, thinking too much, worrying too much. The mental clutter becomes the cage. But what if the answer wasn't doing more to escape it? You sit in a room full of your own accomplishments, yet your chest feels hollow. The notifications keep coming. The emails pile up. You answer them all, but none of them answer you. And somewhere between the fourth meeting and the endless scroll, you realize you can't remember the last time you built something that mattered to you. Your hands remember how to create. Your mind remembers why it once felt alive. But that knowledge just sits there, gathering dust beside the person you meant to become. Time moves differently when you're not tending to anything real. Days blur, weeks vanish, and in the quiet moments you feel it most. That ache of potential, withering. You know what's missing. The question is, will you finally acknowledge what it costs to keep ignoring it? Your phone vibrates, then again, then the notification badge blooms red, a small wound demanding attention. You tell yourself you're being productive, emails answered, messages cleared, tabs multiplying like cells dividing in the dark. But notice what's happening. Each ping, each scroll, each synthetic urgency is rewiring the architecture of your mind. The noise isn't external anymore. It lives inside you now. You're mistaking motion for momentum. Busyness masquerades as purpose. Your attention drifts from task to task, never landing long enough to build something real. The cycle accelerates. Distraction breeds anxiety. Anxiety breeds more distraction. Your focus doesn't scatter by accident. It's being stolen, and you keep handing over the keys. So what if you stopped reaching back? You felt it, that moment when you reach for your phone at dinner, mid-conversation, without even realizing your hand moved. The shame that follows, the quiet recognition that you've done this 1,000 times before. Breaking this pattern isn't about willpower or disapproval. It's about something deeper. The exhausting loop of intention and surrender, focus and fracture. The promise you make yourself at night that crumbles by noon. Your attention didn't become fragmented by accident. It was engineered, refined, designed to pull at you. And every time you slip back into the cycle, you're not failing. You're experiencing the actual weight of what you're fighting against. But here's what matters. You're aware now, and awareness is where everything changes. You've noticed it, perhaps, how a single worry can colonize your entire day, spreading like ink through water. That's not accident, that's law. Where your attention flows, your energy follows, and where your energy settles, roots begin to grow. Think of your mind as soil. Every thought you water, every fear you feed, every small joy you linger on, becomes the landscape of your life. The neural pathways strengthen, the emotional resonances deepen. What you focus on doesn't just occupy your mind, it becomes your reality, brick by brick, day by day. But here's what changes everything. You get to choose what grows. What if you aimed that same fierce attention towards something that could transform you? There's a moment when your thumb hovers over your phone, that split second before habit pulls you down the scroll, where something else becomes possible. You've heard it before. Change your mind, change your life. It sounds simple, too simple, and you're right to be skeptical. Your attention didn't scatter overnight. It was trained away, pixel by pixel, notification by notification. But here's what matters. That hovering moment, it's real. It's yours, and it's growing larger every time you notice it. Think of your attention like water. For years, it's flowed downhill into channels carved by design. But water doesn't have loyalty. It follows what's actually in front of it. You can redirect the channel. The question isn't whether change is possible. It's whether you're ready to feel what comes next. There's a moment when your eyes adjust to dim light, when the blur sharpens into recognizable form. That's not accident. That's biology choosing clarity. This is what intentional focus becomes. Not the exhausting grip of willpower, but a deliberate turning, a conscious choice to direct the beam of your awareness toward what matters. Notice the difference. Passive attention scatters. You're pulled by notifications, by fear, by habit. But intentional focus, that's creation. That's you deciding what shapes your inner landscape. The ancients called this prajna, awakened knowing. Modern neuroscience confirms it. Where your attention goes, your brain literally restructures itself. You're not simply observing your life anymore. You're authoring it. Watch what happens when you finally stop gripping so tightly to the weight you've been carrying. The moment you redirect your attention away from what's broken toward what's possible, something shifts beneath your skin. Your shoulders drop, your breathing deepens, the knot in your chest loosens, just slightly. This isn't magic, it's physics. Energy flows where attention goes. When you stop pouring yourself into the narrative of lack and struggle, that same force becomes available for something else entirely. Opportunities you couldn't see before suddenly emerge. People respond differently to you. Your own nervous system begins to settle. The external world doesn't change overnight, but you do. And from that inner stillness, everything else reorganizes. The sound of a door closing softly. You stand at the threshold now, your hand still resting on the frame, uncertain whether to step forward or look back. Everything you've learned has been leading here, to this single, irreversible understanding. Your mind is not your obstacle, it's your instrument. When you train your conscious focus like a musician trains their hands, growth doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. But knowing this, that's only half the battle. The real work begins when you close this door behind you and walk into the ordinary moments of your life, when no one's watching, when it's just you and the choice. Are you ready to discover what actually changes everything? Your mind is a garden that grows whatever you stop pulling weeds from. Growth isn't something that happens to you. It's something you do, over and over, in small moments that feel unglamorous and repetitive. Every time your attention drifts, you bring it back. Every time distraction whispers, you choose differently. This is the work. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Your brain will resist. You'll feel the friction of redirecting your own attention, like swimming against a current you created. But small daily practices compound. A single conscious breath. One moment of noticing before reacting. These aren't grand gestures. They're the scaffolding of transformation. The question now isn't whether you can change, it's whether you're willing to feel what change actually costs. Are you ready to find out? Your phone buzzes, your shoulders tense, 3 notifications stack like paperwork on a desk you haven't cleared in weeks. This is the moment where focus lives or dies. Start here. Each morning, before the world demands anything, sit. 5 minutes. Just you and your breath moving in and out like a tide you can finally control. Notice how your mind scrambles toward yesterday's failures, tomorrow's deadlines. Don't fight it. Gently, like guiding a child's hand, return to now. Set one clear intention. Not 10, 1. Today, I write. Today I listen. Watch how this single anchor holds you steady when everything else pulls sideways. These aren't luxury practices, they're the foundation. Because sustaining focus isn't about willpower, it's about rewiring what your attention touches. Your mind wanders mid-sentence, and you really notice, the moment it happens. That's not failure, that's the rhythm of focus itself, the breath between efforts. Distractions will come like weather, a notification, a worry, a memory that pulls you sideways just when you thought you had momentum. And setbacks, they're not detours from the path, they're the path. What matters is what you do after. Not with gritted teeth or harsh judgment, but with the same gentleness you'd offer a friend who stumbled. You return, again and again. This is where real work lives, not in perfect concentration, but in the 1,000 small decisions to come back. And that kindness you're learning to offer yourself, it becomes your greatest strength. There's a moment when a river carves through stone, not through force, but through repetition. Water returns, again, until what seemed immovable gives way. You are that water. Every single day, you stand at a crossroads. Focus left, distraction right. Most people choose the easier path, but you're learning something different. You're learning that transformation isn't some distant miracle reserved for others. It's the inevitable result of choosing yourself over and over. One day of focus changes nothing, but 100 days, 1,000, that's when the stone surrenders. The question isn't whether growth is possible, it's already happening. The only question is, will you keep showing up? Because everything depends on what you choose next. A quiet sound of papers being shuffled, then stillness. You sit at your desk, surrounded by the small choices that shape your hours. The phone within arm's reach, the open browser tab, the half-finished coffee. These aren't obstacles, they're invitations you can redesign. Start by reshaping your space. Move the distractions further away. Keep what fuels focus close. Then, find someone to walk this path with you. Not a judge, a witness, someone you tell on Tuesday about what you're building. Track what changes, not perfection, momentum. The day you worked 90 minutes instead of 30. The morning you didn't reach for your phone until 9. These aren't small wins, they're proof. Because focus isn't built in one dramatic breakthrough. It's built in repetition, in environment, in the quiet decision to show up again tomorrow. There's a moment when you catch your reflection and barely recognize the person looking back. Not because they've changed in appearance, but because something inside has shifted so completely that it radiates outward. Your shoulders sit differently now, lighter. The tasks that once felt impossible have become simply your morning. You've built something real here, not through perfection, but through the 1,000 small choices to show up anyway. Watch how joy moves differently through your body now. It's not the fleeting excitement of before. This is deeper, rooted. Your relationships deepen because you've deepened. Opportunities appear because you're finally visible to yourself. This isn't luck. This is what happens when focus becomes a practice, and practice becomes identity. You've become someone who follows through. And that person, they're only getting started. You notice the fog lifting from the valley floor. Not all at once, but in deliberate threads, as if something inside you is finally exhaling. When you stop chasing every gleaming thing at the horizon, the path beneath your feet becomes unmistakable. Your shoulders drop, your breathing steadies. There's a weight lifting that you didn't know you were carrying. The exhaustion of fragmented attention, of being pulled in 100 directions at once. Now, your vision narrows to what actually matters. Not smaller, clearer, like a lens finally focused. You feel tethered to something larger than yourself, a purpose that doesn't whisper anymore. It speaks, and in that clarity, peace settles. Not the absence of struggle, but the certainty of direction. This alignment changes everything, but alignment is only the beginning. When you finally stop fighting the current and learn to swim with it, something shifts in the people around you. Your focus becomes a tuning fork. Those near you begin to resonate at a higher frequency without understanding why. A colleague notices your steadiness and finds their own. A friend sees you showing up fully and remembers what that looks like. The light you've learned to tend in yourself doesn't stay contained. It spills across every threshold you cross. This isn't mystical, it's physics. Energy follows attention. Purpose creates gravity. You're not becoming exceptional so you can stand apart. You're becoming clear so others can see themselves more clearly through you. And in giving this gift, you discover what you were always meant to become. There's a quiet moment each morning when your phone sits dark beside your bed before the day claims your attention. That space, that threshold between sleep and the world's demands, is where your power lives. Right now, your focus is scattered like light through a prism. It bends toward notifications, obligations, the voices of others. But what if you gathered that light? What if you pointed it somewhere that matters? Imagine yourself 6 months from now, looking back. What would you need to have chosen differently today? What would your eyes need to have rested upon instead of the noise? The answer lives in you already. You know what deserves your attention. You know what you've been neglecting. The question isn't whether you can change your focus. The question is, which version of yourself are you ready to become? Your hands are already shaped by what you've chosen to hold. Think back through these moments, through every choice you've made, about where your attention flows. You've seen it clearly now. The seeds you water grow, the thoughts you tend flourish, the dreams you whisper to become the architecture of your life. But knowing this, that's only half the story. The real question isn't what has grown in you, it's what will you choose to grow from this moment forward. What will you nurture when no one's watching? What possibility will you dare to feed with your focus, your belief, your trembling, courageous hope? Because you already know the answer lives inside you. The only question is, will you have the courage to let it?